Well, Chelsea, because they come into this off the back of a 3-0 win over AC Milan in the Champions League. First time they've kept a clean sheet since the very first game of the season, that victory over Everton. So there's still some issues maybe defensively for Graham Potter to work on. But since he's taken over 3 games, they've scored in every game and they're unbeaten. Yeah, what do you make of Graham Potter's Chelsea?
Well, I said it's really interesting looking at Chelsea because we talked about them earlier as whether they could sort of mount a challenge, not to win the title. I don't think they can do that. But once they get Chilwell and James is playing as well as any player in the fullback position in the country. Reece James. He's been terrific this season and looks dangerous all the time. And he's a great outlet for Chelsea. Chelsea, if they find a goal scorer, and Aubameyang's come in and already started to look like he's going to chip in with goals more regular, which will be a massive bonus because they've had a lot of forwards that have, from Lukaku to Timo Werner. I watched Timo Werner in midweek now. We talk about Timo Werner for Leipzig looked so poor, and they've suffered with not having a goal scorer, Chelsea.
What I wanted to quickly talk about, and we might not have much time to talk about this game, Bournemouth-Leicester. Leicester come into this off the back of their first ever win, and it was a big win on Monday against Forest, 4-0 win in the end. Is that the kind of result that you think could get Leicester now going?
Well, they've had performances of getting goals. Leicester look like they can score. I mean, Maddison's playing incredibly well. If Vardy can get going, then they won't have a problem. Harvey Barnes I really like. I think he's a very direct, left-sided player who wants to attack full-backs and cause problems. And so there's a lot there. Their goals against Column is the reason why they've had such a bad start of the season. They leak goals for fun, Leicester. So if Bournemouth keep it quite tight, fancy they could get something out of the game, Bournemouth, because Leicester will give them chances.
Well, Leicester, as you say, have conceded the most amount of goals in the league, 22. But there was something about that performance against Forest on Monday that was a different Leicester. It felt. And maybe it was just because unfortunately for Forest, it was just like they were coming up against a Forest side that just seemed to lack confidence.
Well, it was the perfect team for Leicester to play, Nottingham Forest, the team that in recent weeks have struggled. And they leave a lot of space, Forest. One thing you can't do is give room for players, and especially very good players technically, space to work in, because they'll destroy you. You can't give free kicks around the 18-yard box away. And that's what Forest did. So in some ways, it was the perfect game for Leicester, not only in East Midlands derby, but a team that was clearly out of sorts. And you could argue, well, both teams were, but Leicester were playing at home, and I thought they'd take the game to Forest, and they punished them for every mistake they made.
But you think Bournemouth could unsettle
I think Bournemouth,
Leicester?
well, you can certainly say under Gary O'Neill, they've really made a habit of trying to keep clean sheets and being dogged and making it difficult for the opposition. They know Leicester will give them chances in this game. So if they keep it tight, they've got a chance of getting something from the game.